Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So we're back to talking about Star Trek The Next Generation. In this case, we're looking at 3 episodes. In this case, the episodes The Icarus Factor, Pen Pals, and Q Who. Let's look at the Icarus Factor first. What happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, Riker must decide whether to accept command of his own starship and negative feelings surface when his father shows up. And Wesley Crusher, Geordi, and Data attempt to determine why Worf seems to be more antagonistic than usual and discover that he is upset over not participating in a key Klingon ritual. I have some thoughts on this episode, honestly. Well, I think the parts involving Worf, I think that those parts, those sequences are more intriguing, honestly. And well, I think that the parts, like, say whether it is like Riker's father Kyle, like when it's time, like his past, like the fact that he got attacked by the Felonians, and I think, the TNG or something like that. But then I also thought these two guys are both very arrogant in a way, a kind of way. And the fact, like, saying, yeah, I'm right, and all that kind of deal. And I thought the dramatic aspects were very good. I thought both Mitchell Ryan did a great job as Riker's father. And honestly, I gotta say, the moments for Worf were honestly great. I like the fact that his character was given a bit more character development. The fact that we got to learn more about Klingon culture in a way. We got to, like, say, in a way, I thinking, basically, I'd say the ritual of ascension, I believe. I feel like it is sort of like the gate of, like, almost like, say, like, not puberty because he's already an adult. I guess say it's sort of like you're almost like, say, like you're going through ritual, like having, like, okay, now you are accepted into our ranks or something like that. I guess something like, say,
Today, I am a warrior. I must show you my heart. I travel the river of blood.
But honestly, I gotta say that I kind of like thinking about it, like the Greek aspects of it, like, the father and son aspects. It works in the fact, like, they both have 2 different perspectives. And also I think it's pretty cool in the fact that it's a bit more interesting. Although I do think that the Japanese American warrior or whatever at the end of the episode is pretty, like, this is peak late 80s or 90s kind of cheese. That's just what I think. let's look at the next episode, which is episode Pen Pals. And what happened in the episode? Well, in this episode, Ensign Wesley learns to manage a science team, and in the primary plot, focusing on Starfleet's prime directive, Data helps a young girl on a troubled planet. I do think, the idea of, Wesley having to be in charge of others is, since Wesley is an instinct and he'd eventually have to grow into becoming a more prominent role on a ship, it's a great idea. Because it gives, him, say, okay, I'm having to learn all the roles and all that stuff, how to be a part of the Starfleet, I guess. And, I do say the dramatic parts for Data's, plot of becoming pen pal friends with Sarjinka, a young girl, on an alien planet that's, I think, a volcano world. It's pretty cool, and I do think it's kind of sad in the fact, it's a young kid that's just basically been, in a way, kind of abandoned, and as well as having a very dangerous planet, in fact it has earthquakes and all that. And I also think that the visuals of our planet are pretty, honestly, cool. It's interesting to look at. And I also think, the moments, when eventually, Sarjinka is, saying, no, because she is, having to meet other people.
No, Data. No, I'm scared. Don't make me go.
It's all right. No one's going to hurt you.
No.
We'll just go and get a treat and
No.
then...
Captain, I will see to it that she is not in the way.
1 minute to launch.
Come on, it'll be all right.
No. Just leave me alone.
I guess because she was on her planet for so long and has only met Data, and it's sort of like a young child and latching on to someone they trust in a way. And I think that all works, honestly. So let's go ahead and look at the next episode, which is Q Who. But what happened in this episode? When this episode, Q returns and decides that Captain Picard is arrogant and overconfident. Then she decides to send him all the way to the galaxy, where they make contact with the Borg. And after, in a way, at first they try to say, hey, we want to make peace with you, but they realize, oh, these guys aren't peaceful.
Security, report to main engineering. We have an intruder.
They're malevolent. Honestly, I gotta say, this episode is great Trek. Great Trek in the fact that I think sometimes when Trek works well is that sometimes when they introduce a new alien race or something like that, and the fact the first time the Klingons were introduced, the first time the Romulans were introduced, the first time I think it's the Cerealians in Enterprise. Whenever, say, a new race of aliens is always introduced, sometimes there's always a great, overarching arc that is always going to be memorable as the series would go on. And I honestly think, for the first time we see the Borg, it does a great job at setting up the characters of saying, oh, we've interacted with the Klingons, the Romulans, all that. Oh, but these guys, they're no joke. And the fact that they can also after they get hurt, they can say, "Oh, that hurt. I'm going to use my shields now," or something like that.
From the look of it, the Borg are born as a biological life form. It seems that almost immediately after birth, they begin artificial implants.
And I also think visually, the Borg cube has always been a cool, image, I guess.
Increase to 10 to the third power. It's continuing to regenerate.
And, I mean, overall, I feel like the acting for this episode is great. It really is, honestly. Heck, I mean, this episode was nominated for 3 Emmys and won 2. I can't really think of anything wrong with this episode, honestly. It makes me think that I kind of wish that Q would eventually become part of the crew, and the fact that I think John D. Lancey, he's a great actor. When he does Q in the show, it's very memorable. Because he's always given, say, I know my character is kind of a little bit goofy.
Task is too menial for an entity.
Sir, do you mock me?
Not at all. That's the last thing I would do. You, by definition, are part of our charter. Our mission is to seek out new and different life forms, and you certainly qualify as one of the most unique I've ever encountered. To learn about you is frankly provocative. But you're next of kin to chaos.
Captain, at least allow me to present my argument.
Sometimes, but I'm gonna give it my best. And I like this episode. But what do you think of these 3 episodes? Do you like them? Do you not? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.